Hey builders, are you tired of contractors who disappear for weeks, blow your budget, and leave you questioning every decision? Listen, I've seen too many good builders get burned by the wrong contractors, and it's costing them their dreams and their sanity. Stick around because throughout this video, I'm going to show you my proven system for finding contractors who will actually show up, deliver quality work on time, and help you build profitable spec homes instead of money pits. This isn't theory. This is the exact process I use to manage over 10 builds at once. Hi, my name's Terry Thayer, and I've been building spec homes for over 20 years. I started as a carpenter working with my dad, then project managing his siding business. I built my way up to managing over 250 guys across multiple states, and now I help home builders like you scale and streamline their businesses. Before we dive in, I've created a free contractor evaluation checklist that walks you through these exact questions I ask every potential contractor. It's saved me thousands of dollars and countless headaches. Click the link in the description to grab your copy right now. Look, I get it. You're probably watching this because you've been burned before. Maybe you hired someone based on their lowest bid, or you went with your buddy's recommendation without doing your homework. Here's the thing, finding good contractors isn't about luck, and it's not about who you know. It's about having a system. When I started out, I was making every mistake in the book. I once hired a framing crew that took 3 weeks to do what should have been a 5-day job. That cost me $3,000 in closing costs alone, not to mention the stress and the domino effect on my entire schedule. That's when I realized something crucial. The success of your build is determined long before you break ground. It's determined by who you choose to work with. The biggest mistake I see builders make is starting their contractor search without knowing exactly what they want. You can't find the right person if you don't know what the right person looks like for your project. Here's what you'll need to nail down first: your quality standards. Are you building entry-level homes or premium products? This matters because, let's say, a crew that's perfect for a basic tract housing might not have that same skill set for a custom finish, and vice versa. Your timeline requirements. In my business, time is money. Every day a project runs over, it costs me carrying costs, and it pushes back my next project. Be clear about your schedule expectations up front. Your communication style. Some contractors prefer text, others want phone calls. Some need detailed drawings, while others work better with verbal instructions. Know what works for you. Your budget parameters. Don't just think about bid price, think about change order policies, payment schedules, and what happens when things go wrong. I learned this lesson the hard way on a project in Franklin County. I hired a great framing crew, but they were used to custom homes where clients expect changes and delays. On my spec build, their laid-back timeline approach cost me a fortune. By the way, if you're realizing you need help getting clear on these standards, that contractor list that I mentioned earlier will walk you through creating your own criteria. Don't forget to grab it from the link below. Here's where most people go wrong. They wait until they need a contractor to start looking for one. That's like trying to find a life jacket after your boat starts sinking. Start with your local building network. Go to your permit office and ask the clerks who the best contractors are. These people see everyone's work. They know who is consistently passing inspections versus who's always dealing with problems. Lumberyard, electrical supply house, plumbing suppliers work with contractors every day. They know who pays the bills on time, who's professional, and who's reliable. These relationships matter more than you think. Drive around neighborhoods where you want to build. Look for job sites that are clean, organized, and progressing well. Stop and talk to the crews. I've found some of my best contractors that way. Use online resources smartly. Angie's List and Google reviews are okay starting points, but dig deeper. Look for contractors who specialize in new construction, not just renovations. The skill sets are completely different. Here's a pro tip. When I find a contractor I like, I ask them who else they recommend. Good contractors know other good contractors. Bad contractors, well, let's just say their recommendations usually match their quality level. This is where the rubber meets the road. Most builders skip this step or do it half-heartedly, and that's where they get into trouble. Check the basics first: license, insurance, bonding. This isn't negotiable. If they can't provide current certificates, move on. I don't care how good their work looks or how cheap their bid is. Review their portfolio, but do it right. Don't just look at pretty pictures. Ask for addresses of recent projects and drive by them. Look at the quality of the work, the condition of the job sites, and the satisfaction of the neighbors. A contractor who's struggling financially will become your problem. Check how long they've been in business. Ask for supplier references and pay attention to their equipment condition. This starts from your first interaction. Do they return calls promptly? Are their estimates detailed and professional? Do they ask good questions about your project? I once had a contractor show up to bid a job in a beat-up truck with tools falling out the back. His bid was $3,000 lower than anyone else. I passed and later found out he went out of business halfway through another builder's project. That $3,000 savings would have cost me $30,000 in delays and finding replacement contractors. This is where you separate the professionals from the pretenders. I treat hiring contractors like hiring employees because that's essentially what you're doing. Conduct formal interviews. Don't just meet them at the job site. Sit down in your office or in theirs. Have a real conversation. Ask about their process, their team, their backup plans. How many projects do you typically have running at once? What's your policy on change orders? How do you handle material delays or even weather setbacks? Can you provide references from projects completed in the last 6 months? Test their knowledge. Ask technical questions specific to your project. A good framing contractor should know the current code requirements. A good electrician should understand your local inspection process. Assess their team. Are they one-man operations or do they have crews? What happens if someone gets sick or quits? Consistency matters in this business. Here's where most builders make their biggest mistake: choosing based on price alone. I've seen more projects destroyed by low bid contractors than any other single factor. Require detailed bids. Every line item should be clear enough. You need to know exactly what's included and what's not. Labor and materials isn't good. Compare apples to apples. Make sure every contractor is bidding the same scope of work. I provide detailed specifications to prevent this problem. Look for red flags. Bids that are significantly higher or lower than others need explanation. Extremely low bids also means corners will be cut. Payment terms matter. Never pay anything up front. You only pay based on completed work and completed the right way. Someone on your team needs to sign off and approve it for quality. Sometimes you even need to hold back 10% as a retainage until a certain point of the job or project completion. Some contractors, like your 3 trades for example, will have what we call a rough-in and then at the end, a trim out. You need to establish what that percentage is for each milestone. It's typically 60% for the rough-in and 40% at the trim out. Let me tell you about a project that taught me why this system matters. I was building in Durham. I had 3 bids for electrical work. One at $12,000, one at $15,000, and the last one was at $18,000. The old me would have gone with a $12,000 bid without question. But I learned to follow my system. The $12,000 contractor couldn't provide recent references. His insurance was about to expire, and his bid was missing several items from the specification. The $18,000 contractor was excellent, but overqualified for a spec home. The $15,000 contractor hit all of my criteria perfectly. Guess what happened? The $12,000 contractor underbid the job, realized halfway through, and started cutting corners. He failed 3 inspections, disappeared for 2 weeks, and I had to fire him and hire the $15,000 contractor anyway. That savings of $3,000 cost me $8,000 in delays, $5,000 to fix substandard work, and countless amounts of hours of stress. The total damage over $20,000 once you factor in all the carrying costs and project delays. Finding the right contractor is only half the battle. Setting them up for success is the other half. Everything goes in writing: scope of work, timeline, payment, schedule, change order process, cleanup requirements, everything. Establish communication protocols. How often do you want updates? What's the preferred method of communication? What constitutes an emergency that requires immediate contact? Create accountability systems, regular progress meetings, photo documentation requirements. Don't wait until the end to address problems. Build relationships, not just transactions. Good contractors are worth their weight in gold. When you find them, treat them well, pay them on time, be reasonable with changes, and refer them to other builders. Once you're building multiple homes simultaneously, like I am, contractor management becomes even more critical. Stagger your projects. Don't have all your contractors starting or finishing at the same time. This spreads your risk and gives you better control over cash flow. I have checklists for every phase of construction, standard communication protocols, and backup contractors for every trade. Use technology, project management apps, photo documentation, digital signatures. Make it easy for everyone to stay organized and accountable. I meet with my key contractors quarterly to discuss what's working and what needs improvement. Treat them like business partners, not just hired help. Let me save you some expensive lessons by sharing the mistakes I see builders make over and over. Mistake number 1, hiring based on relationships alone. Your brother-in-law might be a great guy, but if he's not a great contractor, he's going to cost you money and strain your relationship. Mistake number 2, not having backup plans. What happens when your primary contractor gets overwhelmed, gets hurt, or just disappears? Always have a plan B. Mistake number 3, managing good contractors. Once you've found reliable contractors, trust them to do their job. Constant interference actually makes a project take longer. Mistake number 4, not documenting everything. Verbal agreements lead to disagreements. Take photos, keep notes, document changes. Your memory isn't as good as you think. If you're already building and you want to take your contractor relationships to the next level, here are some advanced strategies. Volume discounts. When you're building multiple homes, negotiate annual contracts with your best contractors. They get steady work, you get better pricing, and priority scheduling. I offer bonuses for projects completed early and under budget. It aligns everyone's incentives. Encourage your contractors to learn multiple skills. Plan your projects around your contractors' busy seasons. Frame in spring and fall when the framers are available. Do the finish work in the summer when HVAC contractors are slower. Some warning signs are so serious you should immediately disqualify a contractor. Asking for large payments up front, no local address or references, significantly underbidding compared to others, pressure to sign immediately, no insurance or expired license, poor communication during the bidding process, negative reviews mentioning unfinished projects. Trust your gut. If something feels off, investigate further or find somebody else. Your goal isn't just to find contractors, it's to build a team that can help you scale your business. Remember, building a contractor network isn't a one-time activity. It's an ongoing process that will evolve as your business grows. When I started, I was happy to find anyone who would show up and do decent work. Now I'm selective enough to turn down contractors who don't meet my standards, even if it means paying more and waiting longer. That's the difference between building a business and building a job for yourself. A business has systems, standards, and relationships that create predictable results. A job responds to whatever crisis comes up next. Here's a simple system that you can implement immediately. Create a contractor database. Track your information, specialties, pricing, quality ratings, and reliable scores for every contractor you work with. Develop a standards contract. Work with a construction attorney to create templates for different types of work. This saves time and ensures consistency. Implement regular check-ins, weekly progress calls, monthly performance reviews, quarterly business planning sessions. Document everything: photos, emails, change orders, payment records. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. Look, finding great contractors is one of the most important skills you can develop as a builder. It's a difference between profitable projects that run smoothly and nightmares that keep you up at night. If you want my complete contractor evaluation checklist, the same one I use to vet every contractor in my business. Click the link below. It includes the specific questions I ask, the red flags to watch for, and the scoring system to help you make objective decisions. And if you're serious about building a scalable, profitable home building business, I'd love to help you. I've created a blueprint that shows you how to build homes using other people's money, systemize your operations, and scale to multiple projects simultaneously. You can learn more about that at the Home Building Blueprint in the description below. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. And drop a comment below to let me know what your biggest contractor challenge is right now. I read every comment and use them to plan for future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.